Hey guys, it's Tease here with a tutorial. I'm going to show you how to lazily, well, I like to call it lazy port any weapon from Blender into Roblox. So what I like to do is I'll grab a weapon from the Gmod workshop, go to my working folder here. I'm not going to post any links or anything on these tools that I'm using. The only thing you're going to need is Blender source tools, and you're going to need Crowbar, which are easily found if you just Google it. So here's our pack that we got. We're going to unpack it, and we're going to decompile. I think to keep things simple, I'm probably just gonna pick one at random here. We'll do regular AK, decompile it since there's so little animations and stuff going on with this particular rig. Makes things a little bit easier. Let's clean this mess up. This is from a failed attempt earlier. So we're gonna import with Blender source tools the AK we just did. All right. So when this imports, it's obviously gonna have everything. You're not gonna want everything. You're gonna get rid of these arms. They're not gonna do you any good. I'm gonna shade smooth these because, yeah, it already looks a little bit better since it's shaded smooth. Have everything here, good to go. You're just gonna export it as FBX. I like to scale it, make it a little bit easier on myself. Tutorial, can't spell. Tutorial rig, super simple, super easy. So then you're just gonna go back into Roblox. I was already working on a project here. All right, and then get back to your home. You want to do an import. You're gonna look for the rig we just did, and you're just gonna slap this into Roblox. Now this is where you gotta kind of pay attention. I don't know what this button does. I don't ever use it. You want to keep zero influence bones. That's like a big thing about this. All right, and then you're going to file geometry and you're just going to reduce the size. I like to use millimeter because, yeah. So we're just going to wait a little bit of time. There it is. So you'll see that like it doesn't have any textures or anything. You'll have to provide your own textures. They usually come with the rig when you download it. But if you look in here, all of your bones are intact. So you got your shoulder and all that good stuff. Now it's really easy to set this up. So what you're gonna do is you're gonna open it up in animation, of course. You're gonna make sure your animations do in fact play. So grab one from Roblox. We'll look for like reload, and this should work perfectly fine every time. Yeah, just like that. So press V to look at your bones to make sure everything looks nice. Awesome. So you're wondering, so what do I do about the arms? Well, that's the fun part. Well, hold on. There it goes. You're gonna copy these. Any arms will work. Yeah, I mean, you could probably use just like any mesh if you really felt like it too. Hold on, let me make this a little bit easier on myself here. Oh, cool! I put it inside the rig I was working on. That's nice. There we are. So you're gonna paste those arms into here. Trust me, I know it's a little wonky, but it'll fix itself. Trust. So let's find the rig that we were just working on. It's over here. So the part that you're gonna use to attach your arms is the bones here. So since you pasted these in here, you have attachments. You're going to right click here, and you're just going to add a rigid constraint. I like to name mine just to keep it simple. So left, right. So in your rigid constraint, you're going to do attachment 0. That's where you would select your bones. So for the left arm, we are going to go into shoulder left, elbow left, and select wrist left. And then our attachment 0, we're going to select the left arm. It's going to look weird. Trust me, that's normal. You'll have to reposition everything on your own anyway, so no big deal. And then you're just going to do the exact same thing with the other one. Really depends on how you feel about it, but 9 times out of 10, I like to just use the weapon tag. It just makes things a lot easier. As you can tell, it just lined up right away. I mean, unless you have animations that use the right arm, which I mean I don't see very many of. So for this, you're just gonna mess with these numbers until you get something that you like. So that's gonna go forward. You're gonna want to go in the opposite direction. So I'll do 2. That's a little bit too far back. So let's do 1.8. It's a little bit high for me. Just drop it down. That's left. You're just gonna sit here and mess with these numbers until it looks nice. So I think that's a little bit high. Is it lower or higher? It's higher. So we're gonna change this to 5. Let's do 5.5. There we go. That should do fine. So what I like to do to get the left arm placement is I like to open up the animation. Yeah, it's going to look wonky at first, guys. This is just normal. You're going to want to select your wrist here. And then you're just going to line it up with this bone here. So let's go into here. Always start in increments of like giant leaps because it's a lot easier to do it that way. You can refine it later. Okay, that's your rotations. So let's just do 20. Negative 20. 85. You're just going to step it down. Try negative 90. Alternatively, you could exit your rig here, grab this, and you can manually move it around. That actually worked a little bit better. Yeah, that lined up pretty good. So what we're gonna do now is we're gonna do obviously the position changes. 2. This is my wrist right here. It's pretty center actually. So then we're just gonna go while we're animating here. You can hide your bones. And then you're gonna mess with it until you like the way it looks. Super easy, super simple. Just about anyone can do this. The cool part is since this method uses like attachments and stuff, you can swap these models out, but still keep the bone structure because it's just a constraint. We're just gonna clean this up, make it look a little bit nicer. And on that one, I'm gonna do a negative. Just mess with it until you like it. Like that should be fine. So we'll go to like a first person view-ish and just see how it looks. Yeah, that's good. Typically, you don't want the back end of the arm showing, so you would just clean up those angles. But yeah, thanks for watching how to do lazy porting. But you might think, I'm not sure if this model actually has camera animations or not. Let's double check here. Camera. Where's the camera? It's probably at the top because everything's connected. Camera bone? Yes. So it does have camera animation, so you can do the exact same thing you just did with the arms. So you're just gonna throw a part into the rig. part, add an attachment, duplicate this, name it camera, go down to your bone selection. You're going to pick camera. Don't worry, that's normal. It's going to do that because we didn't select our new camera attachment here. So we got that. We're just going to make this smaller. We're also going to make it transparent. We're going to rename it camera bone. All right. Well, I mean, change it to like 0.8 so you can see it. So then we're going to go back into our rig, turn on the animation, and as you can see, the camera bone will animate, which if you know how to animate camera movements anyway, there you go. And let's say you didn't like this model. You could just use any other model. What the hell? All right. Anyway, throw that in there. Get rid of all that. Group these together. You're going to copy the location of this. Chuck it there. You're going to resize it till it looks about where you want it. Probably be a lot easier just to get the location of the actual rig. And I'm not going to do this exact. I'm just going to show you that you can do it this way. Roughly align your new model with your old one. Once again, you can take your time and make this look pretty and stuff. I am not doing that. This is just to show you that you can. You're just going to line up your new model with your old model. And we're just going to hide all of these parts. They actually don't matter. The only thing we're after is the bones. So then we're going to copy this attachment, or let's copy the camera attachment. We're going to throw this into the tutorial rig. And this is like the main part of our gun. I'm going to paste that attachment there. Duplicate this again. New gun. We'll keep going, but we're gonna go into our new thing. Put an attachment on it. I think it's anchored. I think that's the problem. Yeah. We don't want any of this stuff anchored. Anyway, that's done. Go into our animations or whatever. I'm trying to figure out what happened there. I'm pretty sure the root of this wasn't anchored. And that was the issue there. Yeah. Reset these. But yeah, you can quite literally just add new models and different things to this method. Of course, it doesn't go haywire like that all the time, but with some small adjustments, you can just, that looks really weird. Change it around like that. And you can change this. And it lines up perfectly now. There you go. See, it's really not hard. Super simple. Dead ass. Probably the easiest way to port anything. Thanks for watching.